Hello, Eleni.
Hello, Wendy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. It's a sunny day.
It is a sunny, beautiful day. And today I'd like us to talk about the evolution of Westlands as a location. So your host has been in the market for the past 8 years. And I know your host is a premium furnished accommodation apartment. So you came into the market right at the right time when the market was evolving, and you have created a really good niche for yourself where you are catering to a very specific market. So today I'd like us to talk about Westlands. I know you have listings in various upmarket places, but I'd like us to talk about Westlands. What is the market like in Westlands? What is it like to live in Westlands? Yeah.
The market like in Westlands. Westlands is such an amazing place, especially since I first came here 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I think Westlands at the time was only for an elite market, whereas now with all the thriving, the restaurant scene and so many, it's a cosmopolitan place, and real estate is thriving. There are so many new developments coming up with of course, the landmarks of GTC now in sitting here in Westlands, and some great developments have started this movement. I think one of them is here, Capital M. But then, since 2017 and today, it's just a real estate. It's becoming a real estate paradise.
It is. We are in a boom. I can say we're in a boom.
We are in a boom.
We are in a boom. So anybody who has been wanting to own a property, this is the time. This next 3-4 years,
this is the time.
This is the time, because the market has really opened up, as you've said. So what makes Westlands stand out from other markets? Because there's Kilimani, Kileleshwa, and I know everything has its own charm. But what's the charm of Westlands that make it really stand out?
Of Westlands, I think there's still there's a lot of development, but there's still some green areas. The residential is still there, which is incredible. And also, it's not only the residential, it's the fact that it's also a hub for businesses. So it's easy to live, work, play in Westlands. You can go out, even walking at night, or Ubers are so easy. Restaurants are incredible here. Then you go to Kitisuru, you have Gigiri, you have the forest just right at your doorstep. But also, all the businesses are here, the headquarters are here. So it's just an easy place to meet people. It's very cosmopolitan. It's very diverse. It's very inclusive.
It is, and a good quality of life.
And a good quality of life. And also now the new developments, they all come with a standard, with amenities. You have swimming pools, gyms into every property, really. So you can own an apartment or invest in an apartment, and you know that you have the amenities that, for instance, in Europe, we don't get to have.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. And the reason being is that because in Europe, all the development and infrastructure has happened way before.
It's old.
Right? It's old. So there is a lot of renovation happening, but this kind of like lifestyle, work, live, play, or having those amenities in place, swimming pool in every single development. I mean, we don't have this in Europe. So I can just see the potential here. It's much easier to own a property right now. And as you said, if earlier in our conversation, if you are intentional about it, it's easy to own a property. It's much easier than before, at least.
I'm happy. I'm really happy to hear that, to see so many property owners come to the market in such a short time.
Yes.
And it's going to be even more in the next 4 to 5 years, because the opportunity is really good. So the other thing that I would like to know is that when somebody is buying for investment, because I know you have properties where you manage on behalf of investors.
Yes.
What should an investor look for when they're buying an apartment?
Yes, that's a very good question, Wendy. And especially now, okay, there's a boom, a real estate boom, but also competition is fierce, much more now than before. So if we're buying for investment, and even I bought recently something for investment.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's because I believe in the model, but quality is key. Quality is key. You really need to stand out in this market and knowing what you're doing. So if that happens to be in the short-term rental industry or the furnished apartment industry where your apartment is furnished, it's not enough anymore to buy and you say, oh, I'm just gonna put it up on a platform, Airbnb, and then I'm gonna yield for my property. It doesn't happen this way. There needs to be a plan. There needs to be a structure behind your rates, because as I said, the market is so competitive and I've seen many people leaving money on the table just because of that. Because, for instance, they list in one platform only, right? Or they don't know how to vet their guests. Or the pricing is super important. So that means playing with the pricing dynamics and according to competition, according to major events in the city, according to your quality of your property and how it's being designed and furnished, all of that come to play. And then, of course, it's operational capacity, right? Because we're basically operating hotels. So having one unit, it's okay. But again, you know, when you want to scale up, how do you make sure your housekeeping is at par, communication is at par, and also imagine security for the building, security for the guest, security for the owner, security for the rest of the residencies. So it's just becoming a complex issue, especially if you have a lot of different owners doing their own thing in one building. It's something to be really looked into.
Yeah, okay, that is true. So in the last 8 years, how has the demographic changed? Who are your clients? What do they like? And how has that changed?
How has that changed? So with clients, we mean guests?
If it has changed, yes. The guests that live
in our property?
Yes, the guests that live in your properties.
Yes. It's changed. Yes, it's changed a bit. Not so much. We're still applying into the international community. We are very lucky. Nairobi doesn't have a lot of seasonality, as we say, right? And we especially run our properties in Nairobi. So that means there is seasonality, but there's not a lot of seasonality. And the reason being is because Nairobi is a hub, and especially Westlands is a hub. It's a East African hub. The flights are coming through on JKA all the time. So for us, it's mostly an international guest clientele, either from the States or Europe, West Africa. A lot of Africans stay with us, and of course Kenyans. But for us, mostly we apply to corporates as well. Our product, especially in Westlands, is corporate that they are traveling here either to relocate. So relocation a lot until the family comes along, or the furniture comes along, or no furniture at all. And I've seen with the years also this capacity to be flexible. We have a lot of our guests are staying with us long term without a long-term contract. So I think that people, and as they travel, as they want to move, the trends have been changing. They don't want to be tied down with a long-term contract. And they will stay with us for more than 1 year, 2 years, but they might
in and out.
Be in and out, exactly. Go back home, visit their family for Christmas, then we'll be back. And this flexibility is key. Yes, that's what I've seen. Flexibility is the most important thing.
Okay, yeah, because now we're in a different world. People have different bases, so you could spend a third of your here, a third in Europe, and maybe a third in SA. So flexibility is key. So is this something that investors should keep in mind? Should they also adapt shorter term leases or be more flexible in their
I think to
thinking?
your point, yes, absolutely. It's something that investors should keep in mind. Flexibility is what runs the world right now. And digital nomads, again, relocation of families even, want this flexibility. It's super different. It's not that it used to be before. Yes.
Okay. And when we look at Nairobi, what would you tell somebody who's, let's say, in Europe or US and wants to relocate to Nairobi? What should they know? And why should they come here?
Why should they come here? Why not come here? Right? They should come here because, first of all, in relation to other European or non-European cities, Nairobi is still fairly good value for money, right? You can own a property or you can rent a property at a very reasonable price according to, of course, universal standards, right? So that is something. Then job opportunities are here, especially with global organizations, international companies. Also, a lot of SMEs, or there is a big hub now for, and has been for years, for startups. It's a startup environment. So you can find anything here. And then, of course, the thriving restaurant scene.
Which is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant. I have many.
Your top two?
My top two.
Yeah.
I love the Ankole Grill in Kitisuru. I love it. I love Inti. You feel like you are in New York or somewhere completely out there. And of course in Karen, I live in Karen, so I love Kaltiva. There are so many. Yeah. Talisman, just so many.
So many. I love the restaurant scene here as well.
It's very diverse and food quality is going up all the time. So it's super interesting.
And how easy is it for foreigners to invest here? What was your experience like investing as a foreigner in Nairobi?
It's really not difficult at all, but for me it was also easier because, of course, I'm an investor here, right? I'm investing. My company is here. We employ so many people. So, of course, for me, it's much easier. But we do have international clients, even from South Africa, from Mauritius. They're still investing here.
What should they know about investing in Kenya?
I think there is a very good return on investment.
What percent?
I would say there is a return on investment from 7% to 15%. Of course, it's a range. We have to give a range depending on the quality of the building, depending on also how the building is being managed. I have to be honest with that, because if the building is being let out as different short-term rentals, then it becomes a fierce competition within the same building. So again, having only a few property managers in one entity makes a lot of sense going forward.
Yeah.
So is this 7 to 15%? And they have to pick a building that stands out in terms of quality, a good developer that they know they will deliver, and a good property manager, so that they know that there is transparency. They get the statements every month. The maintenance is there of the unit, and the hospitality element is strong. If this is done, then there's no reason why they can't earn more than 10-15% return on investment.
If it's professionally managed.
Exactly.
Awesome. And what do you see happening in the Westlands market 5 to 10 years from now? What's the future of this market?
5 to 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Wow. Apart from vehicles like flying, yeah, I can see, especially Westlands, it's such a dynamic area in Nairobi. I think this is going to be the Manhattan of Africa.
Wow.
Definitely. The real estate industry is booming. As I said, it's also the communities, different communities, and it's very international, very inclusive.
Yeah.
So you feel that you're a global citizen when you're here. This is a feeling that I haven't encountered in many cities. So it's definitely on the up. And yes, I can see this part of Nairobi really, really booming in the next years.
That is true. We've just entered the growth phase. So it's a really good time for investors to come in because Westlands is blooming. Like I've seen the evolution in the 8 years, and I know in another 10 years it's going to be even more diverse, even more modern, it's going to be quite something. It's really the place to be.
It's a place to be, and we're very lucky to be here at the right time.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.